Hi, this is Kathleen with Transcend and Triumph. My guest today is Robin Eddleman. And Robin is an expert in marketing. And she's one of our speakers for the upcoming webinar that we're running on October 3rd. Write it, publish it, sell it, and also voice it. She is Sell It. So, Robin, tell me who you are and what you do, as if you were meeting somebody for the first time and had no clue about anything that you do.
Okay, all right. I'm going to try to put that in a little bit of a short format, story format, though. So just to begin with, I'm Robin Eddleman, and you know how we really a lot of times struggle with getting what we're wanting to put out and for people to buy and prosper from what we've created. But what I do is to help simplify that, give tools for trusted referrals, if you will, nurture working, and just leaning in all about relationships so you can live that abundant life and that dream of what you have carrying in your heart, mind, body, and soul. Thank you.
How did you end up doing this for a living?
It was a series of a lifetime. As you know, I mean, you're probably like me too, Kathleen, that the rhythm of our life tends to move us toward things we may not even know what we're doing. But when I was little, I wanted to be in marketing, but it just didn't really take off in the beginning. But as life would have had a lot of business I had worked for or worked in my own business was marketing, was always geared toward marketing and relationships. And so just really graduated into life, just kind of helped push me for that, what was always in my heart. And I have a love of people. I love building relationships. I love hearing about their journey. So that's why I do what I do today.
Okay. Now, would you finish this sentence for me? Most writers think writing your marketing is about, but it's really about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, most think it's about sell. Marketing really heavy or saturating emails or different types. What it's really all about is relationship building. If they know you, they can know, like, and trust, right? And you bet your bottom dollar if they know who you are and they like you and they trust you, and they know about who you are as a core, what the rhythm of your book's about, your story, then they're going to help you market it for you in that context. So
What's the mistake that you watch writers? I know you work across the board, but you also work with writers make over and over in their corner of this.
Okay, so what's the mistake I see them doing and where they're not, like they're trying to do constant makeovers from what they've already written and maybe graduate writing another book? Is that what you're asking? Did I get that? Well, it takes away from their original work. Everybody's unique. No two of us are the same. So you wrote that book for a reason. And it's all about getting that out and building that momentum with others, letting them know what that book's about, how it can help them, but also building it in a story format and also listening to their journey. Because as we listen to their journey and why they are where they are, then we can incorporate the book into how can this help them. Always come from how can I help you get more and more of what you want and need. That's the core of all of it. So thanks.
Okay. What's something you believed when you started out in your position as a marketer that you've completely changed your mind about since?
I believed when I first went on my journey, I believed it was about a really solid website, getting out there and how many people would look at it and sending emails, right? Like little emails, and not a lot of cold calling on my part or anything like that. But just kind of like, hiding from myself, if you will, until I learn more about who I really am. And so that's what I learned, or what I did in the beginning. But now I do relationship nurture marketing, because again, I have a love for others, and it just works.
If someone watches your session and does exactly one thing that week, what should it be?
Well, it would be like, if we're talking about, are we talking about kind of like, can you unpack that a little bit better for me? Are we talking about like, if someone just has their book and they don't have a budget, what kind of context are we reaching
Well,
for?
let's take it this way. Say you talk about marketing about relationship. How could they start doing that?
Oh, okay. Well, a good beginning would be to open your phone. Your phone, we have a lot. Now, we have close family and friends on there, but let's face it, we have a lot of acquaintances that we've built some sort of a relationship with. I would start with 10 good people, but I wouldn't only just start with them and lean and say, I've got this new book, and, I'd love to see if you can help me with it. Now let's go, let's do it even better. Let's go into more of a nurture working. When we go in, let's find something we know about them that's great about them. Okay. Lead with what you know about them. Like, I have always admired how amazing you are in whatever it's nurture working or another author, whatever. What's amazing about them? What do you remember? Even if it's a favorite football team or whatever. Lead with inner knowing like that, what you've learned about them, and wait for them to respond. And then you're building that relationship back up again. Because there's been much success in doing that by just leaning in what's special about them. Because you're not coming in like, oh, I maybe haven't talked to you like 6 to 8 months, but here's my new book. Right? So you want to just lead with that, again, relationship, building that relationship in the best possible way. And in my opinion, the best thing to do is edify to encourage them or find something good about them. And that way we can lean more into what they know, what they need more, would like to have more of, and want. So, and they probably have a lot of people that they know that would love your book. So,
Exactly. And I tell you, it works.
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You do a lot of your own marketing through Alignable and with
Yes.
independent entrepreneurs.
Yep.
What does that world understand about selling that authors generally don't?
Like, know, and trust. So again, relationship building. If people know you, if they like you and they get to know you, and they trust you. What happens when we trust one another? We do a lot for each other, wouldn't we? But if we just go in and say, per se with Alignable, hey, here's my new book. Well, they don't know anything about you or your book. What's going to set you aside from other authors, so to speak? What's going to put you in the spotlight again is going in and listening to others' journeys, hearing about them, and letting them know about you and how your book can help them. But like, know, and trust.
I think I found that very true with Alignable. That's why I always preferred a video conversation with them. Somebody asked me about that one time, and I said, I want to see your face. I want to know who I'm talking to.
Well, it's beautiful because with Alignable, they have events called Smart Connects. It doesn't cost anything to be on Alignable or to go what's called a Smart Connect, but that very thing happens. You are able to talk to up to 8 new business owners, or people, if you will, in that hour of that Smart Connect, 7 minutes at a time. So you get to know one another, and you get to share your journey, and they share theirs. And then at the end, if there's those you want to connect with, you can, and have other conversations and lead another conversation or a bigger one and lead more into how you can help one another.
Exactly. Most book marketing advice is about ads and algorithms. You work through relationships instead.
Yes.
Why does that work better?
let's face it, an ad can, like, if we, well, there's a lot of money involved on some of them, right? I've seen, I used to work for a live radio talk show, and I've seen business owners $20,000 dump that in an ad. But the thing is, there's more than just 10,000 people hearing your ad. All right. They don't know you. And so they might go to your website. Well, okay, you have your website. Do you have a call to action there? Is there something right on your website that's going to draw them and keep them? A lot of times, let's face it, people don't always stay on your website that long. So again, moving in and getting them to know who you really are. I mean, again, you're unique. You wrote this book for a reason. You're putting it out there. So boldly go out there and let them know who you really are, and learn and grow together, and then develop that relationship. But yeah, just clicks and people seeing or hearing your ad. Yes, that it does help with brand awareness. But again, we want to lean into, who you really are. What's a fire in your belly? What's your why? Let people know.
Exactly. Most writers would rather write another book than sell the one they have.
Yeah.
What does that instinct cost them?
Well, it actually can go into insecurity in a way, because you built that book, and why are you moving away from that book? So, it's you want to master and be able to learn and grow from that first book. You put it out there. Let's make it happen. Let's help people understand why that book's out there in the first place. If you put another book out, you're kind of just going, oh, what is your subconscious picking up on? Or what are the innermost parts of you going, well, that wasn't a good book. I guess I need to put another one out there. No, it's beautiful. You put that out there. You're unique. It's all in how you do it. It's all in how you let people know it's out there. So before doing that, I would also too, if you've had it out there a while, you could also have a relaunch of the first book if need be, right? And go again and kind of like, okay, I did it this way. Now I'm going to go into more nurture working, building relationships. And you could also have a lot of people that know about the book, or maybe bought it, those that didn't, or lean into that. Have like a Zoom with all of them if you want to. Bring them together, get them to know you, get to know more about them. And then that relaunch can be as successful just with the first book.
That's really good advice. An author has no budget, no following, and only one book. What do they actually do on a Monday morning? What should they do on a Monday morning?
Again, I'm going to go right into relationship marketing again, to where everybody you meet, not everybody you meet, but those that, smile, or you're standing in line in the grocery store or wherever you are, you can certainly lean into all about them, and then go into them. They'll probably say, well, what do you do? And you can lean into and build your story around what you just learned about them. But again, remember, our phone is worth a ton of money with the leads. I don't want to call them leads, but if we know our acquaintances, family members, whomever, I would start with that. And I wouldn't start with everybody, right? I would do maybe 10 at a time, because remember, there's a good percentage that people are going to ping you back, and you want to be able to manage those 10. If you do everybody, imagine 80% of 100 people answered you back. Then you would be overwhelmed, maybe. Your mind would maybe go into a little bit of a fog. So yes, use your resources on your phone, but start small, like 10 at a time. And again, embrace the opportunity to highlight something great about them, and open that conversation up.
What's the first thing an author should do 6 months before their book comes out? And what's the first thing the week before it launches?
All right. The first thing that an author should do 6 months before is get the word out about their book, right? But we don't want to come from my book's coming out, can you do this or that? I would again lean into relationships, but I would spin it a little bit differently. I would actually maybe offer them to review the first chapter of your book. And reviewing that first chapter of your book, you ask them what they thought, right? You're going to get a lot of people sharing, oh, this is a great book. I like how it's going. Can't wait to read the rest of it. Thanks for the opportunity in that. So you're getting all those soft recommendations, if you will, or things speaking great things about your book. It's on their mind. They're excited about getting to read the rest of it. So that's what I would do. I would go and do that. And also, again, get on Alignable if you're not already on Alignable, or get in somewhere you're comfortable with and start building those relationships and leaning in and growing, learning and growing together. But it's always good to offer something like a sneak peek of your book. People do like that. They do like to help. So leaning in, it's like, oh, wow, this person asked me to do this. Wow, I love to help, right? They feel like they're helping and they're doing a great thing. But then that first chapter might just, they're going to say, wow, Susie's got this great book coming out. I got to read the first chapter. I can't wait till it comes in. They're going to talk to others about what they read and so forth. And then the first week is just reaching back. Do the reach back. Who reviewed the book, or the one chapter? Do they know of anybody that they talk to, that would love to, get the book? So again, looking for referrals from those that read that first chapter, let alone the people that were in the first chapter. Hey, I'm excited to tell you my book's out now. Is that something you would like to entertain in attaining a copy of that? Or, what's a good next step type thing? So, but we've already built a relationship. So it's kind of okay to ask for that then. You're not selling. You've already built the relationship. You're just letting them know, hey, it's done. Or it's out. Now you can read all of it. So, and where to get it.
Yeah, I know it helped in my sales and that with, because of the songs I wrote.
Yeah, I love your
from
songs.
That. And sent them copies. Actually,
yes.
Actually, some of them like with you, I asked you to listen to it and give me some truth back on how you liked it.
Yes. Yeah. So that's a little sample taste. Exactly. So, but it's beautiful. You can listen to it a lot. Not just so once. It's not just a song you want to listen to once. It brings you craving to listen to it more and more all the time, and it becomes in your mind too. So constant remembrance. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a constant remembrance of your upcoming books and different things, like top of mind. That's getting you top of mind in a beautiful way, not intrusive, like, here, buy my book now. Right? And ultimately we do want to have that liquidity, but we just want to build it like you're saying too, is offer something smaller like that, and I want to lean into it. Wow. Yeah.
Thank you. How much of a book marketing genuinely works, and how much is authors just keeping busy?
Well, when we want to work, remember we're working in or on our business, and I say business because there's many things that can come from writing a book, maybe merchandise and different things. However, that depends upon the author. But you can get busy all day long doing, let's redo the cover. Let's the look, whatever you're working on, working on over and over and over and over and over what you've already worked on. Well, let's go ahead and not do that. Let's go ahead and make good use of our time. Again, moving in and finding out who would like to know about this. How can I help somebody with what I've written? What can I do to help others with what I have? That's moving the needle. That's tangibility. But I think that with the busy work on top, with some of the things I was mentioning, it's just fear of being seen, maybe. Like, okay, I've written this book. I was alone doing this, but now I got to come out and maybe show my face. It's okay. It's okay. You that book came out of you. There's greatness in you. So step into your greatness.
I agree. An author is not a small business owner in their own mind. Should they be?
I believe so, because they're the CEO. I mean, again, this is a creation the author made coming out of them. It came from them, right? And so putting on that cap as a business owner, if you will, can lead to other things too. You know, what are you going to create with your book? Like you have your song and other things too, Kathleen, but are you wanting to do bookmarks? What do you want to do? Maybe it might lead to apparel. It's always good to learn the ropes of having your own business as an author. Then when those things come and those opportunities come your way, then the doors are already open. You already have that, and you know how to do that as a business hat. So don't put yourself in a box, is what I'm saying. So yes, I do believe it would be good for that.
One of the most common things that I say, and I was taught this by a fellow author, when I'm at events, is, what do you like to read? Yes. And then if they don't like my genre, I tell them somebody who does read, who does write that, and point it to them. Because I'd rather see somebody get a sale on a book than not.
And you know
help them.
That's so beautiful, because that's going to come, and not that you do it because you probably believe, oh, that'll come back to me. You do that from your heart. Yeah. But a lot of times it does. It's like, wow, she just did that for me. Wow, I know Joe would love her books. I'm going to tell Joe to come see her or order her book. So they begin thinking, like, again, you did something. How can we help get more of what they need and want? And that's a core example of what you just said. Thanks so much. I love that so much.
It's just like, I have a friend that, I mean, she's a very excellent children's book writer, for like 5 to 9. And I'm personally, because I can't write children's books, it's just not in my vocabulary, shall we say. But she is so good, because she was a teacher for 33 years in that age group. And I send them to my grandchildren and my great-grands, because I love the way she does it all to poetry. Yeah. Everything rhymes. And she works so hard. Huh? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. What's the single most effective thing you've ever watched somebody do to sell their own work?
The single most effective thing is to begin, number one. But in beginning, I'm going to be leading back to nurture working, to sell your book. And then also to just a tip, like, and I learned this just recently. It wasn't in my wheelhouse, if you will, but it makes sense. So when you go into a bookstore and your book's not in there, and you have, or businesses that have a place to leave your business card, if the opening's big enough, why don't you leave your book in there instead of your business card? Because what's going to come from that? Someone's going to read your book. Yes. Someone's going to tell somebody else, and on and on and on and on and on and on. But the key is to begin and step out there and begin building relationships.
Social media for authors. Is it necessary, optional, or a trap?
It's optional, and it depends upon how you do social media. Again, if you're going to go in and it's all about how many can I sell, and you're messaging people or whatever platform you're on social media, is like, here, go to we're going to use maybe Amazon or whatever, wherever you have your book, if it's not on your website, and you're going through some sort of platform like that, it's probably not a good idea to message somebody and say, hey, here's all my books. Go look at them and tell me what you think. Well, first and foremost, we don't know who you are, again, right? So it's like, okay, well, why? I mean, people, let's face it, there's so much noise coming to everybody, right? We get tons of emails, newsletters come through, phone rings off the hook, lots of text messages, lots of things, lots of noise, right? What's going to set you apart from all the noise is the key. So lean into it and build good relationships and get an understanding. Again, I always go back to know, like, and trust. And that's going to set you apart. And two, like, if you want to offer some sort of insight, if you want to message, someone, I mean, and this may be bold for people to lean into, but what should I remember about you that would help me send you the right people or person? And that's good. That's asking them. And they're going to come back. And a lot of times they're going to go, what should I remember about you? And you can lean in a story format about your book or a small snippet of you. But that's getting that relationship building.
Exactly. And you are so spot on. And with social media, I believe that people should start with, who am I?
Yeah.
Why should you want to know me?
Yes, true. And knowing who you really are. Yes. I like that. Yes. It's part of what I teach too.
Yeah, I'm the new president of APW. And
congratulations. I love that.
Thank you. But I'm having each of the executive board write an article in our newsletter so that people can get to know them, because almost the entire executive board was changed over when I did. And so it's like, who are they?
Right.
They haven't been here for so long. So I feel that people need to know you before they can trust you.
Yes, absolutely. That's an amazing thing you're doing. And people can read and learn and grow together and imagine, like, wow, okay, I didn't know that. Oh, this is great. Just the little things or the big things that are shared, some are going to pull that little tiny one sentence and it's going to be like so powerful. And then the whole write-up, it's going to be, others are like the whole write-up, like, because we all learn differently, right? But grasping that is just, spot on, amazing.
What do you say to a writer who flat out tells you that they're not a salesperson?
Funny enough, this is they're all great questions, but I do like this one. Maybe one of my favorites is because let's think about this. We've been selling our whole lives, and we don't use the word sell, but wasn't our mom and our parents and our grandparents when we were younger, when they tried to get us to whoever's house we were at, trying to eat that vegetable that's good for us, trying to get us to go to bed at the right time, that's all selling. So when we move away from the scary word of selling, we can lean into, yes, we have always been doing it our whole life. So I'm just not a salesperson. Well, neither am I, but we've been doing it our whole life. And it's how we get across that message. I don't call myself sales. I call myself executive growth coordinator a lot of times, because that gets my mind thinking of coming and moving away from that scary word sales. So, but we've been doing it our whole life. I know many can lean into that and think, wow, yeah, you're right. We have. Wow.
Yeah. Well, sell your parents on going to a friend's house that they really don't trust. That's selling. That's really selling when you can convince them.
Yeah. Well, I was very protective. I was a protective mommy. I'm like, no, I have to meet those parents and I have to know, a little bit. Early on, I didn't even know I have that verbiage, like know and trust, but seriously, getting to know them, and really, okay, yeah, maybe an overnight, but yeah, it's just leaning in and being able to trust. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, you're right. We are selling to our parents too. Like, no, really, mom, it's just this, right? But we didn't know we were, doing that because we didn't have that word.
How do you encourage someone to step out of their comfort zone? I have had people I've worked with that can't call somebody that they have not personally met by their name, even when they have a name tag on. How do you help somebody overcome that? Because it's a fear.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a fear. It's also a fear of being seen, and what's running in the back of our mind, or the very core part of us. It's okay to be seen, and when power come out of us, and also kind of like I don't want to say so much affirmations, if you will, but knowing you are loved beyond measure. Just things are moving into that. You wrote that book. You got the hard part. It's already done. But going in and just like maybe just a smile. When you smile, people invites them. They say hi. You say hi. Just a little softness, right? But that smile can draw people to you, and not a scary way though, because they'll smile back, and you can say, "How are you?" They can say, "How are you?" It can lead to a conversation. But just practicing that, practice smiling, practice coming out of your comfort zone a little bit at a time. I'm not saying go into a room full of people and start chatting, because that's not, if you're coming from, really inside yourself and you're not used to doing that, a smile can go a long way. Or,
Yeah.
if it's an event, if you're grabbing a drink and you hear people talking about a particular topic, just prepare. They might come up and ask you about it. Then you'll know. I mean, you're listening and not eavesdropping, but just at the punch. People are just generally talking, right? So, okay, well, oh wow, they're talking about that. Oh, I know a lot I could add to that if they were to ask you, like to lead in. But getting a drink from the punch bowl or wherever you're grabbing a drink, there's where conversations can reach. And just like, how are you? It doesn't have to be a big production. Just baby step into
Exactly.
it. Yes.
Yeah. And I will say this too. I want to just add this little caveat
Sure.
that if you're on the phone, if you smile, nobody can hear the fear.
It's true.
They only hear the smile.
That is so true, because it's the energy coming from us. Don't dim your light, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hide. A beacon of light cannot be hidden under the bed.
That's
Right?
right.
Cannot be
That's
hidden.
right.
Don't dim your light. You cannot be hidden under a bed. So, yeah.
Uh-huh. You spent years as an auctioneer.
Mm-hmm.
What did selling live out loud in a room full teach you about getting people to say yes?
Well, it started, speaking about owning your own business, you go into it wearing all the hats, right? So, yes, I had, you get licensed and then you have your own business. But it's from greeting the people that come in. How do you greet them? How do you greet people that come in your auction? Hi, welcome. We're so happy you're here. Or not look at them. No eye contact. So those kind of things help. And then when you're up in front of the whole bidder, there's a lot of people there, 100 plus or more sometimes, or depending on what kind of venue it was. And just how are we selling it? Are we selling it again with a smile? Are we leaning in? How are we holding the product that's being auctioned off? What are we doing with all that? It's our energy that comes through. It's our light. And, I've seen bidding wars over something I would never thought would be a bidding war. But they just got to have it, but it's how you sell the sizzle, if you will, in a way. But it's all about, who are you? Are you coming fully into who you really are? And again, that smile matters. How you greet people before the event, from beginning to end. How are you showing up?
Exactly. In your coaching work, you help people figure out who they really are. How much of selling a book is the author getting comfortable with who they are?
They are. They really are, because they wrote the story. It came from their heart, right? We want to say heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit. That came from, and I'm talking to all the authors that came from you. It came from the very core of you. So, in knowing who you really are, you leaned into that. Now, you were in solitude probably when you did that. You didn't have a bunch of people talking to you when you were writing your book. But the beauty of it is you did it. And it leaned in. And did you know, or sometimes maybe ask yourself, who am I really? Well, you're not all that self-talk that comes through, or that talk, those thoughts that come through that are toxic. That's not you. And so renewing the mind does help. Coming into your power, the light that you are. So yes, because it helps us tell your story of who you really are, building relationships, and your greatness. So,
what's one step that they can take in renewing themselves and reevaluating their own self?
well, catch those thoughts. I've come through some storms in my life, and they can tell you what, you're not alone. If you're like, I don't know, I know I'm told how to renew my mind, but I just can't, right? So some simple steps is to focus on the small steps, the sundries, if you will. And believe you, God told me that. Focus on the sundries. When you can't focus on things that are just lovely and good rapport, and I know there's more to that verse than just that, but focus on the small stuff. You have a pen, your heart's beating, you woke up today, start celebrating those big things and little things. It'll move into more of the gratitude that you have and versus you have not. And more and more and more of you will show up. Because again, and like we hit it, the smile too helps. And if you have to, nothing's ever a have to, but go into the bathroom by yourself and tell yourself you love yourself 10 times and smile. And the first time it'll be like, why am I doing this? This doesn't feel right. But believe you me, after a while, that image in the mirror and the very core of you changes into who you really are. You're going to see the beauty inside of you, the uniqueness. So in renewing your mind, then it's easier to do that when you catch those thoughts like, what the heck was that thought? That's not my thought. No, that's not me. When you have a thought, just say, that's a thought, that's not me. And then focus on what is more of you.
I agree. I think that's very important. What are you hoping people will take away from October 3rd with not just your session, but the whole day?
Absolutely unstoppable confidence to go boldly into raring to go. And to be able to carry that into your life, hold on to that feeling, right? Because sometimes we watch stuff and we come off of like really happy, and then maybe 2 hours later, it's like we're thinking about something that happened in the past that wasn't so happy. No, I hope everybody can bottle that and carry that with and practice that and boldly go into it. Complete confidence. Yeah.
Okay. Anything I should have asked you that I didn't?
No, I think we've covered. I can't. You've got it covered with the cornucopia of different questions you had. What a delicious. I mean, they just flowed really well for me. Thank you so much for doing that, and thanks for the beautiful time in the interview to be able to spend with you today. I appreciate you so very much. If I haven't already told you that, so
I appreciate you too.
Yes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Transcend to Triumph. And it's Kathleen Osborne with Robin Eddleman, who will be speaking on October 3rd on Sell It. The last episode of our webinar that day, her passcode for anybody who knows her is Eddleman, her name, EDDLEMAN. And that gets you 10% off.
Fabulous.
Yes, it's going to be fabulous. We want a packed house. Thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you.